Hey guys, Dantics here. Now, I've played multiple runs of Star Wars Zero Company's 18-cycle preview build, and there are so many mechanics EA hasn't really shown yet. Some completely change how you approach combat, others make this game feel more like a Star Wars RPG than Star Wars XCOM. So here are 27 things you probably don't know about Star Wars Zero Company, starting with my absolute favorites. Let's begin. Early on, you unlock the ability to make custom operatives. You simply need to buy any of them, be rewarded with one, and then go to the customization section. You can change everything from their talent to their specialization to the finer details of their sex, race, costume, name, bio, and more. Best of all, these operatives aren't left out. They banter with the squad, they have input in missions, and even have preferences to your choices, liking and disliking particular options. They're no less powerful than your authored characters, so build away if you want to roleplay.
Montgomery's loss is your gain, again.
Speaking of missing, yes, you can still miss at over 90%, and there's even an achievement for it.
Focus.
If you hate missing, there are a lot of ways to mitigate that, like the Sharpshooter's Ultimate. We've all seen the meme with the 65% chance to hit. Well, that doesn't happen in Zero Company. Up close, it's almost always a 100% chance to hit, removing a lot of frustration. So I've been testing out the new Viture Pro 2 XR glasses, and I didn't expect to be using them nearly as much as I have been. Every time I put them on, I end up saying, I'll just play for another 20 minutes, and then suddenly it's 2 hours later. It's basically like carrying around your own massive private display wherever you go. I've been using them in my bed, at my desk, and honestly, these are coming with me on every flight from now on. The best part is how comfortable they are. They're only 63 grams and the frame is 20% thinner than the previous model. So after a few minutes, you kind of forget you're even wearing them. The screen is ridiculously sharp thanks to the latest Ultra Clarity 3.0 technology. The peak brightness is 1600 nits, which is the highest in the industry. If you're short-sighted, you can adjust the focus right here, built into the glasses. No messing around with prescription inserts. Then there's the Mobile Dock Mini. Snap it onto your Switch 2, plug the glasses in, and you've got a portable gaming setup that fits in your pocket. It even charges while you play thanks to the built-in 10,000 mAh battery. If you're at all curious about XR glasses, this is honestly a pretty awesome place to start because best of all, the price is the lowest it's ever been at $299, and if you pack it up with the mini dock, you can grab the combo for just $378, saving $20 if you follow the link below. So thanks to Viture for sponsoring this video. In some missions, you can explore around beautiful Star Wars themed areas before jumping into combat. If you ever played Mario Rabbids, you know what to expect. Though there aren't any serious puzzles or things to collect, it breaks up combat segments with some world building and it's extremely welcome.
Let me guess. Gong.
There are 4 main blaster types, but they're highly customizable. As you play, you'll be rewarded with buy or unlock modifications for your weapons, as well as slots for these mods. Some are straightforward, like extra damage or chance to hit. Some change up gameplay, making your weapons set enemies on fire. You can also customize the look of your weapons within each category, and each different look also fires and sounds completely different. Here's 4 rifles I've selected different models for. Let's have a look how they sound in gameplay.
Right.
Taking the shot.
Drop one.
No doubt a lot of people will be disappointed that there's only 4 weapon types and say no shotgun. Well, there is a shotgun and many more weapon types. They're simply not counted as your main blaster and are equipped in a spare utility slot. Here's the scattergun. It costs 2 AP to fire and does huge damage in a cone. The banter in the game doesn't stop just because you're at the holo table or calculating your next turn.
I think I'm gonna get back into holo chess.
Operatives will talk with each other, taunt enemies, compliment or tease you. The universe feels alive.
Primo!
Good one, Hawks.
Speaking of, besides the fantastic music score and sound design, what also helps sell the fantasy is even though this is a turn-based game, enemies and operatives will passively shoot at each other, banter, dodge shots, and so on. Even though this doesn't affect gameplay, it's yet another thing that immerses you in the universe. Laid in around the maps are tools you can use to your advantage, like explosives. There are a few ways to do this, like using the sabotage talent, or getting line of sight and firing into them for a single action point. But nothing really beats the feeling you get when you lead an enemy into their ally's grenade. There are a lot of ways you can use the environment to your advantage, but the best way is to look for ledges or cliffs and use the many options you have to push enemies off to their doom. These are instant kills even for powerful enemies like the droidicars. Let's have a look at a few examples.
Fisting gutty abacati!
Well shot.
Not everything is all about combat. Spend the influence you earn on combat missions on operations for various rewards, like I hinted at before. Take a look at this operation. It has 3 choices, giving you different rewards or penalties based on success or failure. Here we have the same job, yet one gave an exotic item and the next time I did it, I didn't get the item. Who you assign plays a role, and I have a suspicion is to do with their talent, as the one that got the reward had the espionage talent. A lot of XCOM was about controlling the chaos, and ZCOM is no different. In a lot of cases, you won't have enough influence to do every single operation or enough time to go on every mission. Sometimes a crisis will pop up, giving you a choice of 2 bad outcomes, both of which are an upgrade to your enemies most of the time. In this case, you'll have to pick if you prefer the coil striker units to get access to impact bombs, or not be able to be interrupted by Overwatch. You have to pick what is least likely to affect your current operators, which is the lesser of 2 evils. Through my multiple demo playthroughs, I found that these crisis missions are not always the same choice. It seems a little randomized, so I hope you don't face something impossible to choose between.
Yep.
Besides crisis missions and operations, you also have dilemmas, where you have to make a choice that some may like, some may not care about, or some may hate. Gaining or losing bond accordingly. Now remember, you need to raise your bond in order to do joint training between your operators, which essentially raises their stats, and this is the only way you can raise their stats. But I digress. In the dilemmas, the biggest rewards often make the most enemies. You'll notice, like I said, that the custom characters also have opinions here.
They probably just put it back on his old desk without pay. It's a classic trade-fed move.
If you can't flank an enemy around their cover, you can destroy their cover. Well, most cover at least. If you miss an attack against an enemy behind destroyable cover, the constellation prize is that cover will start breaking. Or you can simply use an explosive. Once the enemies are exposed, they're easy pickings. Take a look. Now you might be thinking about difficulty. On normal mode, you feel challenged, but you can still feel like a badass. One difficulty up, and things start getting very challenging. One difficulty up to that, to expert mode, and the Sabak deck starts feeling stacked against you. Expert mode is not there for fun, it's there to really test your patience, so absolutely don't pick this for your first run. You'll need to know what to expect to get through expert mode, and the game has a lot of surprises.
That's teamwork.
Hey, I'm hot today.
There's ion grenades and mods, and they pop droids like you'd expect, rendering the survivors unable to attack. So this is one such example of loading yourself out correctly before a mission if you have the right intel before you set off.
Adequate, I suppose.
I go through this more in my specialization and talent breakdown video, but you can freely change your specializations at the den, as well as freely move focus points around. This lets you experiment and fine-tune your team without feeling like you're completely screwed when you make a mistake or lose an operative, since a lot of the rest of the game isn't so forgiving. This also means you don't need to save up focus points. Use them where you can, and then take them out and reassign them when you have enough for the big things you wanted. You'll be tempted to open most fights by throwing your grenades and thinning out the herd. Sometimes it's better to be patient. You can actually herd the droids in like clankers to the slaughter using taunts or exposed operators. Then launch off your grenades or droid poppers and take a massive group out at once, which is extremely satisfying.
Target's down.
If you have permadeath turned on, which I recommend you do, then every time an operative drops to 0 HP, they gain an injury. 3 injuries and they're dead for good. Even if you play like a madman, never dropping in combat, operatives can still gain injuries from non-combat missions called operations. See here, Uppercut gained an injury attempting to contact a clone named Sawtooth. When you get an injury, you have 3 options. First, let it be and just accept the lower accuracy in combat. 2, you can let them heal at the medbay. By paying some credits, the next time you're back at the den, they'll be healed. Or third, you can pay a higher rate and heal them in the back to tank, which is instant, so they'll be combat ready right away. Explosions in this game look and sound amazing, especially against the B1 battle droids. You have a range of grenades to choose from, and the Soldier Specialization's ultimate ability is an absolute showstopper. Let's take a look at some examples now.
My brothers, for the Republic! They won't be getting back up.
Your hub in Star Wars Zero Company is not just a menu like it was in XCOM. You explore around, talk to your crew, both authored and non-authored. They will banter with each other and sometimes give you missions. Think Marvel Midnight Suns. It's nice having a place to return to and watch grow as you invest in new buildings, like the lounge here, which after built provides a cantina in the den for your operatives that aren't on missions to relax for some bonus bond points. When talking to your crew in the den, sometimes you'll need to make choices, and these will either raise your bond with them or even lower them in some cases.
Him to be at his best after something like that. I know I wasn't.
Well, that wasn't his fault. And Antine wasn't yours. Good soldiers follow orders.
One improvement I very much appreciate is that it's no longer required for you to use an action point to evacuate. Once the mission evac zone shows up, you simply need to get all your operatives into the zone to end the mission. Much less tedious, and they can still provide support. Each turn, one of your operatives will be able to call for assistance. The target you choose to assist will gain bond with the operative calling for the assist. Then the next target the operator attacks, the other who was called for assisting will attack as well.
That's slashy gassy.
Leading to some powerful combos, especially if the operator in question has a bonus to assisting. It seems like the assisted shot also doesn't miss, so you can set this up to ensure a particular enemy dies. planets across the galaxy map are broken up into regions. As you make choices, you may or may not earn influence in them. The higher your influence goes, the more powerful the rewards, unique to each region. I tried my hand at raising Zone Zenith up as fast as I could, and you could more or less target what region you want to go for. Taking missions in that region is the biggest boon to this, besides placing contacts you earn directly into a region for bonus influence. So this is another way that each run will be different. Build the droid repair bay as soon as you can to unlock Astromechs. They're powerful in combat, able to carry more utilities like grenades than any other specialization, and most importantly, because they don't have weapons, they can grant others action points. Even if you won't use an Astromech, building the droid repair bay will get you 3 free utilities for you to put on your other characters when you get that free Astromech, meaning you can fully equip your squad with utilities without spending a credit. Overwatch is back, and of course it's a staple in every XCOM game, though this time it's far less required. You won't find yourself moving up one step and overwatching every turn. Instead, it's better using it when you don't have a clear shot already, or when you're invested into the powerful sharpshooter specialization. Without investment, you're going to have the standard accuracy, and even B1s may be able to sprint past you.
Hurry, mate, 30! All right.
Not today.
There's always more flankers.
Nailed one.
Every operative gets their own talent, but Cab Uppercut's signature talent is, well, his uppercut. What's great about it is it refunds all the action points that you use to execute the attack if you kill the target.
What's for supper? Cutty upper!
So if it took 2 action points to reach the target, I'm getting 2 back, essentially making it so Uppercut can move around the map easily as long as there's fresh meat for him to consume along the way. Jay also has an interesting talent. She can pick off injured targets once a turn, and it shocks me every time it happens. Talents are really useful, so make sure to take a look before picking your operative.
I'm tagged!
The combat sections in this game aren't a puzzle, wherein you're not trying to work out a solution with the tools that slot in together. You're more managing to get through the best you can with the tools you brought with you. However, sometimes you play so damn perfectly that you feel like an absolute god. Check out this perfect run. It looks easy, but one change to how I did things would have made this turn out very differently.
Nice shooting.
Systems damaged.
So long. On target.
Here.
Thank you.
Those were 27 things I think make Zero Company stand out, and honestly, there are still plenty more I haven't covered. If you're planning on picking the game up, let me know which features surprised you the most, and if there's anything you'd like me to break down next. I've got tons more guides and gameplay deep dives coming closer to launch, so I appreciate any love you can give. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, ciao friends.